So today, what we're going to talk about is something super important because we all, I won't say all, but many of us do this. I know I do this. We tend to talk about our offer, the problem that we're solving, what we're doing from our language, instead of thinking about the language that the buyer needs to hear to understand what you do. We use terms that are like jargon terms, right? That we know what they mean. For instance, we might say, oh, I'm going to build you a launch signature blueprint. I know what that means. I know that comes with this deliverable, but my audience has no idea what a signature launch blueprint is. So instead, I need to speak to it from what they're going to hear, which is a system that helps you launch your offer and get it to the right people. Okay, that is what the buyer needs to hear. They need to hear language that they understand. So that's really what we're talking about today. Okay, how you're explaining your offer, what kind of content you're creating. One suggestion I'll give you is to map your audience pain points to your content. Specifically create content that is mapped to each pain point. So not just creating content on pillars, right? We talk about having 3 to 5 content pillars. Map those pillars to pain points. That way, you know your content's always speaking to pain points. And AI is really great at this because you can ask it to speak from the buyer perspective, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're talking really about a language shift today, right? So here are some good examples. I provide brand strategy, content systems, and launch support. We know what that means. We know what brand strategy means, but someone who's just starting out or needs the service might not know, right? So what they understand is I help you stop posting without revenue. People know this. They know this problem of I'm posting every day and I'm not making any money. I see all these other people making money. What are they doing? And build the infrastructure that turns expertise into a launch ready offer ecosystem. Okay, so this is the language shift. I might tell a founder with my offer, they get a newsletter set up in digital headquarters. I know what that means. I know how important a newsletter is, but they might not know that. So the language I would use is you finally have a place to capture attention, deepen trust, and send qualified buyers. Because really, that's what a newsletter is going to do. It's going to narrow down your qualified buyers, deepen trust with them. I've said this before, my high ticket clients come from my newsletter, but I can't just start with that, right? We have to start with language that the buyer is really going to understand based on their pain points. It's easy to talk about the problem and the solution because that's what we understand. So, for instance, we say things like entrepreneur burnout. That's the problem, right? But just because we understand the problem doesn't mean that the audience that we're speaking to knows that they have that problem or can even identify with it. That's the problem, okay? We know it very well, but a lot of times people with the problem don't know they have the problem. But what they do know is what? What do they know? What do they know very well?
Their own pain, their
They know their pain. They know what's keeping them up at night. They know what's annoying them. They know that. And it's a great question to ask. I was on the phone with this guy that I'm planning a workshop. It's going to be our second workshop together. And he just asked me straight up, what's your biggest pain point right now? And I was like, ooh, thank you for asking that. Ask people. They'll tell you. And if they don't know, then help them figure it out because there you're demonstrating your abilities to help with that. So really understanding the pain point is super, super important. So for instance, a big problem that we see with people is unclear positioning, right? But what's the pain point that we do see? People like my content, but I'm not known for one thing. So the content's scattered, right? There's no content pillar system. There's no mapping to pain points. This is why I want us to center everything around our offer. And if you saw my newsletter on Friday, the $1 million offer strategy, that's basically what they're saying. And it's so true. Take your offer and build your media around your offer, build everything around the offer. Okay. Have a weekly newsletter around the offer, have a podcast around the offer, have social media content around the offer so that everything is leading back to one thing.